Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Anon here. So playing solo leveling again, and it's been a great launch in global. And today I want to just quickly discuss about how to build Sun Jing Woo and how to build few hunters. Okay, so without further ado, let's go. Sun Jing Woo, what's the best set? And how do we build him? Okay, so few things to note. Okay, if you look at the statistics here, okay, the important points are actually pretty much this part here: attack, how much attack, precision, right, how many precision that you have. It's basically saying here, it's just what it says: adjust the minimum amount of damage when attacking. This basically means, right, if my attack is around 15,000, right, my lowest damage or my minimum amount of damage is 95% of the 15,000, which means the higher you have, the better it is. Okay, defense, yeah, whatever, we're not playing tank, we're always trying to get the best damage. Crit hit rate, now this crit hit rate is also important, is how many times you can inflict critical hit damage, right? The higher it is, the more often you're gonna crit, which means 50% for every single hit. 50% of that hit will be a critical hit, right? Now this means that this is when it's yellow like this, that means it's already maximized, you cannot go higher. Okay, and the next one, crit hit damage, of course, it's basically simply it's 150% of 15,000. That's if you crit, that's what's gonna happen. And the other one that is important is also defense penetration here, percent of attack that ignore the target defense. Okay, so this is pretty good. Okay, healing, well, Sun Jing Woo doesn't heal, and everything else, yeah, whatever. Okay, so which means when we build him, this is what we need to think about, right? So we need to have a look at how we can add more crit values. So there are two crit values, which is crit hit rate and crit hit damage. So if we can get the crit hit rate to around 5,300, so if we basically go by artifacts here, right, 5,200, that's maximum already. Okay, if we can get him up to that, around that 5,250, I think is the max, then you don't need to add more statistics around here to agility at all. Okay, so the target that we want is to maximize this crit hit damage to 50%. Okay, that's the thing that you need to do first, because that will basically change the way you I suppose build and play. Okay, I don't have the best roll here, I'm still looking for the best one, but the crit hit rate is important. Look at this one, right? It's annoying when the roll goes into healing given increase, it's just annoying. And the other one that you want to find is like this one, for example. This has a good roll, but I want to change that in the future into light damage here. Okay, that will have the crit hit damage and things like that. I think there's a better one, I'm not sure. So the best way on building Jing Woo, actually this bracelet, you can swap it around depending on the stage that you're going to find. So here, for example, it's great, but it's not as good as this in a way. So I'm using water damage at the moment, but for me, ideally, when I get a good piece bracelet, I will lock it and I will just upgrade that to 20. I'm gonna swap around depending on the stage that I'm gonna fight with Jing Woo. Okay, that's kind of the way we do it. Now in some areas, the other areas here, for example, you will have defense penetration. So this is also really good. Okay, so the best set would be finding crit hit damage, crit hit rate first up to 5,000, and then crit hit damage. Okay, and then the next one is defense penetration, but also defense penetration will have a maximum value. So in the end, how do we build him is build focusing on crit hit damage, crit hit rate to get 50%, crit hit damage, kind of coinciding. So if we can 1 by 2, it would be good, right? 50% and 100% plus. Well, ideally you kind of want this to be as high as you can. Okay, and then build attack and then build precision so that your lowest damage is still not as far as here. Okay, precisions, however, can be you can get it from the weapons. So weapons can give precision. So for example, if a weapon doesn't have any additional ascension, right, or any additional stars here, then it's just gonna not have any precision. But the more duplicate you have, the more you have precision. Like this 3000. Okay, like if it's SR weapon, it's maximized at 2000. But even only I think it's maximized, I'm not sure if it's maximized as 3-star or more, but so far it looks like that. Okay, let's see. I think we can, if we upgrade, right? So as you can see here, 5-star is 4000, right? So yeah, so that's kind of how you can get precision. So again, when you do have a lot of duplicate for your weapon, especially your SSR weapon, you will change again the base statistic that you want to give, right? So how am I building it at the moment? So I'm just building it like this, right? Ideally, what I would like to do is once my precision hits 99%, it won't go above 99%. So you want to just dump everything into attack, and then secondarily, it might be handy if you add additional MP or cooldown. Okay, so but the best way is just build full attack and full precision up to 99%. So once the precision hits 99%, just add everything into your attack. Okay, so quick tip: find crit hit rate and crit hit damage from all your artifacts and damage penetration. That's how you build Jing Woo. Okay, it is tricky, it is gonna be a grind, but that's basically the game. The end game is just grinding over it. Like at the moment, I'm just keep on getting this healing given increase, which until they actually gave us a how to reroll the artifacts, it's pretty much pointless, right? So this one here is pointless. This is great, but look at the base, the main stat, healing given. Like Sun Jing Woo ain't healing, man, right? Why would you have a crit set with a healing given increase? But that is the gacha, that is the end game RNG, the end game grind. It's every day trying to get the best roll and then upgrade it and then replace it. That's pretty much it, until they give us a way to reroll the substats, which they will, right? So that's gonna probably in the next update or so on, they will give that. Okay, so the shoes, ideally what you want to find instead of defense like mine, you want to create something like crit hit damage, for example, right? Because then you're playing crit anyway, you have to find that. Like this would be really nice, crit hit damage, defense penetration, crit hit rate, and crit hit damage as well, right? Those three are the best values that you want on every single artifacts, and then everything else is kind of a bonus. Okay, if you get more attack, great. If you get more damage increase, great, right? Additional defense and additional HP, not really necessary for Sun Jing Woo, right? So yeah, so because you will have other blessing stones or skills that can give you invisibility or invulnerability, so that you can, besides if you dodge, you don't get hit, you don't really need HP, right? Okay, so that's a quick tip for Sun Jing Woo. And then the other ones are for the few of the hunters. Okay, but the hunters is pretty easy, right? The way you do it, if you go to artifacts, right, and you choose one of them and you change artifacts, is here. Recommended stats is up here. All right, just follow that. So for her, needs crit hit rate, crit hit damage, and attack, which means her set would be the crit hit set, right? And then trying to get most of the stats as crit hit rate and attack. Yeah, simple. I don't have to really explain that because it's already self-explanatory. Again, the same way, you're trying to get 50% and crit hit damage as high as possible, because that will make her really broken. So here, for example, I've got defense. I can't do anything about it, right? I'm still farming, and then I didn't get any of them today. It is what it is. But ideally, later on, once you find one, that's why I don't put it 20, because I need to find better ones. Okay, but like this one, great, right? This one is great as defense penetration and so on. But bear in mind also, defense penetration here will have a maximum value, and the way you investigate that, come on, stop. I wish they had an option that I can just turn that off, man, right? It's annoying, I'm not a kid, let me play. Alright, so here, if you see here, damage, defense penetration here, there is actually a maximum value. So if you go to artifacts, okay, see defense penetration 3000 is not maximum yet, but if I go to Sun Jing Woo here, this is maxed out, okay, from artifacts there. Alright, 7400 is already maxed. I think it's maxed at 6500, something like that. Let me try and find out. Now this one is even crazy, 9000, right? But overall, it's still good, 16%. However, from the artifact is kind of maxed. So I don't know how they calculate that, right? But if it is yellow, it's already meaning that it's how do you call it? It's already maxed out. It's useless, right? See here, 5100 is already maxed out, right? So have a look at those kind of stats. Again, for the build, simple. The artifacts, when you want to change something, you'll see. Okay, but in terms of gameplay, right? I put, these are my sets. So just quickly here, Cha, Sun Jing Woo, what's his name? Choi Jong-in, Choi, right? Emma, right? Jin. And I'm using break for Jin and crit, right? Because at the end of the day, again, just follow what it said. Defense penetration, win damage. But even though it's not saying, oh, do a crit, right? Sure, but well, until you get those, it's here, right? But of course, I'm giving him all the defense penetration, additional defense, all that says defense, right? Now this one is a little bit misleading here. It's water damage, right? I have to change it, but at the moment I haven't got I think I've got the wind one that I want to change to him. I forgot, but since I haven't got it yet, see, dark damage, fire damage, I haven't got it, so well, he can just use that for now until I got it. It's not a problem, right? I got no wind damage, so it is what it is. Sometimes just leave it be, and then later on you'll change it, okay? And then again, bike here. Now for him, I'm using this set. So because this set is basically increased power gauge acquisition rate. This is great for supports. Most of supports, this is kind of a really good one. So for her, for example, she's healer, right? So again, but this is buffing. Like we don't care her about attack, right? So her role is pure healer, right? No, healer and kind of like attack buffer, but she doesn't got any attack buff skills, so she needs to have that, while this one has a defense down skill that and then can increase the attack of the other units. So you kind of want to give him not the same set as this one. You can, but I would rather give him a set where it pushes everybody's gauge, right? So that it's faster to alt, okay? Because his role is basically just go in, do his thing, swap it out. Simple, right? So that's why over here is tagging out as well, okay? So just to quickly here, I'll just go through the build. It's not the 100% perfect build, so the sets that I'm currently using, okay? Just to share, what I'm currently using. So again, for her, I use the alt gauge because, for her, usually the combo is with Choi and with him, so I don't think it stacks. But at the end of the day, if I kind of like use these two with her, for example, right? So then it will be just quick in, swap to him, do the alt, right? Swap to her, right? And swap back to her, right? And then sword to him again and do the ult. Okay, so it's pretty handy. All right, so it just depends on how you build your team as well and their roles. So look at their roles, making sure you got it right, and then just give them the best artifacts. Okay, so in terms of artifact farming, highly suggest to farm across on the highest stages. Again, I'm an early access player, so everything looks, you know, way advanced already. So here I've done all of the tier 10 here, so I can just auto this. Always try and get the highest tier because it gives you the best one. In terms of tips on how to build your artifacts, if you are still early global players, don't try and farm this too much. Try and get and open up these stages, because the lowest tier, right, let's say tier 3, you can get up to tier 3, right? The purples drops and the rare drops here, which is the blue ones and the purple ones, right, have a higher base stats than the legendary level heal 35. You know, they're almost the same even. So the yellow here is almost equal to the blue on this portion, okay, on tier 1 even, right? They're almost the same base stats. Okay, so try and unlock these two as quick as possible for you so you can farm better. Okay, don't spend your upgrades here, it's pointless because it will be quickly replaced by these two, even the blue ones. Okay, so yeah, because otherwise you're running out of gold, you're running out of everything. If you want to kind of build this lower tier of level 35, right, just +5 them and then just quickly replace them with the blue ones from here. Okay, all right, that's all. That's a quick tip from me. Have a good weekend. I'll see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.